This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Jonathan Eric Gardner charged in a U.S. court. He pleads not guilty. The opposition accusing the government of misappropriating tax money to buy votes. One set of cops denying extorting $600 from tourists, while other cops and a Marine accused of 400 kilos of cocaine in a plot. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, June 18th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strawn. In a moment, DeQuest Dean will be here filling in for Laverne Gardner. And also this morning, hurricane season is here, and we are talking about what to look for in hurricane impact windows. One company says they are the choice that you need. They'll tell us why. Later in our 9 o'clock hour, we're talking with the Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation about their upcoming Parkinson's Ball, and a whole lot more. That's all ahead, but first it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Jonathan Eric Gardner, who was previously jailed in the U.S. for drug charges and later deported to the Bahamas in 2014, pleaded not guilty to charges of cocaine importation conspiracy, firearms use, carrying and possession, and firearms conspiracy yesterday. Gardner was indicted in the Southern District of New York and made his initial court appearance in New York before Magistrate Judge Sarah L. Cave. Hours later, Gardner was detained with consent. The indictment was unsealed nearly the same time a U.S. judge denied a petition for Gardner's release. In the indictment, it's alleged that Gardner was involved in a drug trafficking conspiracy starting on or about May 2021 and up to May 2026. The U.S. government is seeking the forfeiture of Gardner's assets, including any and all property constituting or derived from any proceeds the defendant obtained directly or indirectly as a result of the offense, and any and all property used or intended to be used in any manner or part to commit and to facilitate the commission of the offense charged in one count, cocaine importation conspiracy, of the indictment. The indictment alleges that Gardner and others known and unknown conspired to import 5 kilograms and more of mixtures and substances containing a detectable amount of cocaine into the U.S. Gardner is also accused of using and carrying firearms. U.S. prosecutors also want Gardner to turn over all firearms and ammunition related to the charges. If Gardner is unable to forfeit any assets, prosecutors intend to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendant up to the value of forfeitable property. Gardner was represented by Sabrina Schroff, acting for Susie Ribeiro Ayala. Gardner's next court date is set for June 24th at 10 a.m. A man found dead with stab wounds inside a burning building. This happened yesterday morning in Nassau Village. The victim, identified as trade unionist 63-year-old Perry Cox. Police say firefighters were alerted to a fire at a lime green and white single-story stone duplex. Police said that while attempting to contain that fire, officers forced entry into the building and discovered the man unresponsive lying near the front door. Police say the victim was taken by EMS personnel, and after examination, they confirmed there were no signs of life. Speaking in the House of Assembly yesterday, Nassau Village MP Jamal Strachan described Cox's death as a heinous act, extending condolences to his family and encouraging Bahamians to embrace peaceful conflict resolution and exercise patience. Cox served as the second vice president and prominent executive council member for the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union. Two police officers have denied extorting $600 from an American tourist. Prosecutors say that constables Brianna Miller and Felton Turner received the money from Eric Mondello on June 14th to avoid prosecution for a drug possession charge. Mondello, a passenger on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, was turned over to officers from the Tourism Police Unit after he was allegedly found with marijuana. The officers pleaded not guilty and were granted $5,000 bail each at their arraignment before Magistrate Abigail Farrington. Their trial is scheduled for September 16th. And prosecutors have accused 3 law enforcement officers of a drug trafficking conspiracy involving 400 kilos of cocaine. Sergeant Alcott Forbes, Corporal Brendan Dean, and Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine Ramon Russell face charges of conspiracy to import drugs, namely cocaine, into the Bahamas, conspiracy to export cocaine from the Bahamas, and conspiracy to possess cocaine with intent to supply when they appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Ancella Evans. The offenses allegedly took place between November 1st, 2021 and March 31st, 2022. The accused pleaded not guilty and their bail was set at $50,000 each. The matter adjourned to October 20th for trial. Opposition leader Michael Pintard accusing the Davis administration of misappropriating taxpayer funds by taking money out of the public treasury and putting it in the hands of someone outside of government to induce voters in the recent general election. Despite being challenged multiple times by the opposition to address the matter of the vouchers directly, Prime Minister Philip Davis refused to do so. The issue raised by Long Island MP Dr. Andre Rollins during the budget debate reports that taxpayer-funded vouchers with the name of then PLP candidate for Central and South Abaco Bradley Fox were handed out prior to the election have been widely reported. Minister of Finance Michael Halkitis previously promised reporters that the claim will be addressed during the budget debate, but he did not do that at the start of the debate last week, nor did he address it when he wrapped up the debate last night. The Tribune first reported the matter 2 weeks before the election, stating that $200,000 in vouchers were given out. The paper said that the chief executive officer of Premier Importers, Chris Lieda, informed that the vouchers were paid for by the Ministry of Finance. The Finance Ministry's procurement report for March shows that it awarded several other contracts through requests for proposals on March 20th. Those contracts amounted to $900,000 in vouchers under the heading Voucher Building Materials, but there had been no explanation for those awards that came so close to the election, which was held May 12th. Rollins raising the matter in the House when he stood on a point of order after North Abaco MP Kirk Cornish said that he admired the maturity of the government and that the government didn't discriminate according to its context of infrastructure works promised for various islands. And residents on Eleuthera are spending more than 20 hours without electricity, leading to widespread frustration and calls for urgent infrastructure upgrades. BPL said that a generator went offline Tuesday and that multiple power lines are down, resulting in several outages throughout Governor's Harbor, Current, Rainbow Bay, German Village, and Lord's Byron. Several residents telling the National Guardian yesterday that up to 5 p.m. their power remained off. Overseas, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth lashing out at NATO allies today, announcing a 6-month Pentagon review of American forces in Europe, whose outcome will depend on how fast the Europeans take responsibility for their own security. He told his NATO counterparts in Brussels, quote, "This will be a real review. It'll be designed to ensure that NATO is moving fast and irreversibly toward Europe leading, stepping up to take primary responsibility for the defense of Europe." Hegseth lambasted European allies for failing to provide U.S. forces access to bases in Europe to launch attacks on Iran, calling it shameful. Taking the microphone at the top of the meeting, Hegseth also railed against migration and gender equality policies in Europe, in remarks reminiscent to those of Vice President J.D. Vance in February last year that angered many Europeans. He said, quote, "Instead of tanks and fighters and air defenses, the focus has been on gender equality, equity, and climate change and defense austerity. Europe's borders flew wide open, welfare states expanded, defense budgets cratered, along with Europe's belief in itself and its civilization." Hegseth's comments largely mischaracterized European policies, though. On defense, European allies and Canada have launched an unprecedented effort to boost defense spending and expand their armed forces. And U.S. President Donald Trump signing an agreement with Iran Wednesday that calls for Tehran to dilute its stockpile of highly enriched uranium and waives U.S.-backed sanctions on the country, immediately allowing Iran to sell its oil freely in a major concession from Washington. That's according to details released by both countries. The initial deal to end the war takes immediate effect after leaders from both countries signed it, according to Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who helped mediate the agreement. That agreement calls for a permanent end to hostilities and starts a 60-day negotiating clock to reach a final deal on the future of Iran's nuclear program, though Trump left the door open to resume attacks. It appears to offer Iran several benefits up front while extracting little in return. And gunmen attacking the main airport in Niger's capital of Niamey early today, leading to an exchange of fire and explosions. Security forces were deployed to repel the attack after the gunmen breached the airport security, according to an official who was not authorized to speak publicly about the situation. It's not immediately clear who the attackers are, and Associated Press journalists and soldiers were searching people on the road to the airport in the aftermath of the gunfire. It was the second attack at the airport this year after the Islamic State group claimed responsibility for a similar attack in January that targeted Niger's drone assets. And Jamaica is in discussions with the United States to accept third-country deportees, a move that would add the island nation to a growing number of Caribbean countries working with the Trump administration on its immigration agenda. Jamaica's National Security Minister confirming Tuesday that the country signed a memorandum of understanding with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to accept up to 25 people from countries other than Jamaica every 2 weeks. The deportees will not be placed in detention, though details of where they would be housed have yet to be determined. Compensation for accepting them is still being hashed out. If the agreement is finalized, Jamaica would join Mexico, El Salvador, Uganda, and a number of other countries that have agreed to accept third countries imported from the U.S. The move is already getting pushback from the opposition People's National Party, the PNP. which is accusing the Jamaican government of keeping the negotiations from the public. The PNP argued that accepting the migrants places Jamaica's internal security, international standing, and fragile social infrastructure at severe risk.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, the Bahamas Baseball Association preparing for yet another opportunity to put Bahamian baseball talent on display on the national stage. The association will host the highly anticipated BBA Andre Rogers National Baseball Championships June 18th, today, through Sunday, June 21st, between the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium and the Blue Hills Sporting Complex. Baseball players from the various leagues on the island and around the country will battle for bragging rights in the in 6 and under, T-ball, 8 and under, coach pitch, 10 and under, 12 and under, 14 and under, 16 and under, and 20 and under divisions. BBA President Clarence C.J. McKenzie expecting a high-level competition to take place this weekend. More on that in today's Guardian Sports section. From World Cup soccer, Harry Kane tying England's record for World Cup goals with a 4-2 win over Croatia. And Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal held to a 1-1 draw by Congo. And from the NBA, New York is celebrating the Knicks in classic style today, throwing a ticker-tape parade for the team that brought home the NBA championship longed for by generations of fans. The Knicks' victory after a 53-year drought has electrified New Yorkers, with the Mirror predicting that today's parade might be one of the biggest in the city's history. The mere fact that it's happening is historic itself. Although the Knicks won the championship twice in the 1970s, the city didn't host a parade for them either time. This time, the city is going all out. That parade set to start at 10 a.m. near Battery Park and head up Broadway on the skyscraper-flanked route dubbed the Canyon of Heroes. The procession is set to end at City Hall, where the players are to get another traditional tribute, Keys to the City. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got a heat advisory still in effect for the northern and northwest Bahamas. That means New Providence, Grand Bahama, Bimini, Abaco, the Berry Islands, and Andros. Everyone's being advised to remain hydrated and limit strenuous outdoor activities. Seek shaded areas during peak heat hours. And aside from the occasional isolated shower or thunderstorm, a broad high-pressure ridge remains deeply entrenched across the area, and that's promoting generally stable weather conditions along with seasonably hot and humid conditions that will continue through tonight. Again, with the heat, everyone's being advised to wear protective clothing and sunscreen. Avoid peak sunshine areas if you can. UV indices expected to be in the very high to extreme range today. And we're looking at a slight to moderate risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed beaches of the central and southeast Bahamas. Beachgoers in the southeastern islands should exercise caution. So your forecast for today, we're looking at partly conditions turning mostly fair tonight for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, with a 10 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. The extreme northern islands, including Grand Bahama, looking at a mix of sun and clouds today, turning mostly fair tonight, also with a 10 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. The southern honey conditions turning mostly fair tonight, about a 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds in the northern half of the country, south-southeast to south-southwest at 10 to 15 knots for the extreme northern islands, southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots for the rest of the northwest Bahamas. East to southeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts possible for the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperatures, highs getting up to around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius for the northern half of the country. The heat index making it feel like it's as hot as 110 Fahrenheit, 43 Celsius. Highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius for the southern half of the country. The heat index, though, again a factor in the triple digits, making it feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, about 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics, including what's happening in the Gulf of Mexico and Arthur in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new
Of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Your next win is waiting right now at islandluck.com. The quicker you sign up, the quicker you can play, the quicker you can score, and the quicker you can win big. From casino games to sportsbook action and lottery excitement, it's all just a few clicks away. Sign up today at islandluck.com and get in the game instantly. Island Luck. Join the winner's circle now. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game. So
Wake up, it's a new day.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Every day in a busy world,
We have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal. Share your ambitions, let us help your dream come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Down Home West End Fish Fry Festival presents to you the Mini Pop-Up 2026. It's going down Friday, July 10th at the Garden, Blue Hill Road South and Zion Boulevard. Gates open 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Admission $10. There's going to be music by DJ Rebel, live performances by the Pawn Band, and Stevie S. Drinks and food will be on sale. Conch Salad by L&C Conch San. Seafood by S&K on the Bay. And don't forget your fish and panny cake. Come lay low in the gardens at the Down Home West End Fish Fry Festival Mini Pop-Up.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me on a Thursday, we've got Dequessa Dean. Dequessa, good morning.
Dwight. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. Happy Thursday.
Same to you. Great to have you with us. We missed you on Tuesday, but you and Laverne did a switch for this week, and you're here today. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right, got a lot to talk about, including as we are in hurricane season, hurricane impact windows, which you need to know. Stormframe will be joining us. Because not all of these are created equal, and they'll tell us why. That's coming up this morning. Later, we're talking with the Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation. Their ball is coming up. We'll get details about that as well. And a whole lot more, as there is a lot to talk about in the news. And in the news, the big headlines in the paper. Gardner charged. This is Jonathan Eric Gardner, finally charged in the U.S. He's pleading not guilty to the charges. Let's go through this. As you said, there's a lot to talk about on this Thursday morning. But our Tanika Thompson writing, Jonathan Eric Gardner, who was previously jailed in the U.S. for drug charges and later deported to the Bahamas in 2014, yesterday pleaded not guilty to charges of cocaine importation conspiracy, firearms use, carrying and possession, and firearms conspiracy. Gardner was indicted in the Southern District of New York yesterday and made his initial court appearance in New York before Magistrate Judge Sarah L. Cave. Hours later, Gardner was detained with consent. The indictment was unsealed nearly the same time a U.S. judge denied a petition for Gardner's release. In the indictment, it is alleged that Gardner was involved in a drug trafficking conspiracy starting on or about May 2021 and up to May 2026. The The U.S. government is seeking the forfeiture of Gardner's assets, including any and all property constituted from any proceeds the defendant obtained directly or indirectly as a result of the offense, and any and all property used or intended to be used in any manner or part to commit and to facilitate the commission of the offense charged in Count 1, the cocaine importation conspiracy, of the indictment. The indictment alleges that and unknown conspired to import 5 kilograms of more of mixtures and substances containing a detectable amount of cocaine into the U.S. Gardner is also accused of using and carrying firearms. So the indictment reads, quote, "It was a part and an object of the conspiracy that Jonathan Eric Gardner and others, known and unknown, during and in relation to a drug trafficking crime for which he may be prosecuted in a court of the United States, to wit, the drug trafficking crime charged in Count 1 of this indictment, would and did knowingly use and carry firearms, and in furtherance of such crime would and did knowingly possess such firearms." U.S. prosecutors also want Gardner to turn over all firearms and ammunition related to the charges. So if Gardner is unable to forfeit any assets, prosecutors intend to seek forfeiture of any other property of the defendant up to the value of the forfeitable property. Gardner's next court appearance is set for June 24th at 10 a.m. As I think everybody knows, Gardner was on board a plane that departed Marsh Harbor for Freeport on Election Day, May 12th. The plane later crashed into waters off Florida. The 11 survivors were rescued by U.S. Coast Guard. 2 days later, the U.S. government filed a criminal complaint against Gardner, alleging that he had been moving tons of cocaine through the Bahamas with the protection of Bahamian government officials and high-ranking politicians. The complaint alleges that Gardner was found with cell phones and a bag with $30,000 in cash and a Bahamian politician's name written on it. Gardner was previously convicted in Florida for federal narcotics and money laundering offenses. He was sentenced to 220 months imprisonment and, as noted earlier, in or about 2014, was deported to the Bahamas.
Dwight?
Yes, Duquesa.
Wait, I need your help in understanding, was he on a wanted list, or is it just that because they ended up in U.S. waters that he was captured? So it's like a stroke of luck.
I'm not sure if he was on a wanted list, but obviously it appears they've been watching him, I guess, for a while now. They've been building a case, and it just so happened. Yes. Now, as you heard recently, well, from day one, people were wondering how that plane ended up drifting. So, right. If you're going from Abaco to Grand Bahama, how do you end up closer to Florida? And now we're hearing at least Gardner say that it's been suspicious what happened, how there seemed to be a loss of control, although the pilot didn't say that, a loss of control of the plane. But but they have a case. They have a case against him, and we will see what happens again. He's going back to court soon. But that is that there. There's been a lot of talk about this in the House of Assembly, mainly from the opposition side, the government trying their best to stick to the budget debate issues. Prime Minister Davis talking about this yesterday. The budget debate in the House is winding down as they're preparing to take this to the Senate. But the Prime Minister made some interesting comments yesterday. I want you to take a listen to what he said about all of this.
The serious matters that demand the maturity of this House and the trust of the Bahamian people. Their decision to focus so much time, for example, and attention, and gimmickry on a legal matter before the courts of the United States in respect to a person arrested after a plane crash meant that the national budget did not get the full attention it deserves. Last month, this government made it clear that the serious allegations raised in that case would be subject to a full and independent investigation. It's not change and will not change. Without the facts, it achieves nothing to continue to speculate via press statements, political point scoring, or social media commentary. Allegations of this gravity are far too serious to be cheapened of accusation, speculation, and spectacle. The only facts we know are the ones already in the public sphere. Up until now, the American courts have provided no further information. Don't remember.
Okay, Prime Minister Philip Davis. I want to get your reaction to his comments. Do you totally agree with the Prime Minister, or you think he might be a little off on this one? And then they're saying it again, full and independent investigation. What does that mean? Because we're hearing the police say they're investigating, and so how? Who's on this?
It's confusing.
What's what? But is he right here? Has it been a distraction? I mean, perhaps, but is it wrong for folks to be asking questions about this and to be extremely concerned? These are very disturbing accusations, right? What's your take on it? Duquesa, before we get to the calls, what do you think the Prime Minister's right?
No, I don't think he's right. I feel that if the government made more contribution, just which was on the radio this morning in the news report, that it's saying that it is alleged that he did this with the support of the government, being able to move these drugs through the country with the support of the government. That is a serious allegation that requires the government to dispute it or to somehow something to say, hey, that's not true, this is not happening, and not just move past it like we shouldn't pay attention to it. It's very concerning.
Yeah.
Very concerning.
Tell us more about this investigation. Again, who's doing it? Who's conducting the investigation? Who's on this? I mean, we have in the paper today 2 separate stories of officers from the police force being charged. It has been a very rough year, the last 12 months, with police officers being brought before the courts or accused of things. So something's not quite right with the force. So should they be investigating this?
Who is doing the independent investigation?
What does that word mean? What does that word mean?
Right.
And then obviously there are a lot of people around here who might not be on the police force who also shouldn't be a part of any investigation. So we need to know who's going to be doing this investigation. And are they going to be protected? They might need some additional protection too if things are as serious as some are alleging. So yeah, we need more answers. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Good morning.
Good morning, you guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good. So, I have been paying good amount of attention to this whole fiasco with the allegations by the foreign entities reference, political persons or persons in our armed forces doing things untoward. The first thing is the person in the Roker Curtis situation. That person has not been named. They said there was a political person in that as well. Mm-hmm. Now here again, there's another political person, and they're not naming anybody. No indictments are coming up. They're just spewing and throwing allegations out there. As the Prime Minister, you ought to guard the reputation of the Bahamas jealously. Because we're talking about the reputation of our country. Mm-hmm. If there are allegations and they have merit, then bring the evidence. If they don't trust the Bahamas government, then so be it. But don't expect for us to go out in our media and like when we got blacklisted in 1992. I could remember I think it was the Ingram administration took his whole cabinet in tow to the United States to get us off that blacklist. We don't need to be doing things like that. If there are credible allegations against the Bahamas, then bring the evidence. Other than that, it is noise. It is just nonsense. Mm-hmm. Don't come around here And when you have things going on in the United States that needs to be investigated by their leaders, the Southern District of New York needs to go investigate people at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's what they need to do. Don't come around here talking nonsense. We need to be, as Bahamians, more patriotic. Don't be just listening because it's the United States. Listening to the go and investigate the doggone people in 1600 Penn. That's my comments for today. Thank you.
Okay, well, you had us until you... Well, sure. I mean, everybody has to do... Why did you go there?
I mean, let's just be real. It's not that they picked up a random person. They picked up someone who was already convicted on, at charge, proved guilty, serve a sentence or whatever. So it's not just a random person that they picked up. Yes, people change. However, it's not far-fetched to think, okay, well, this person did something similar before, so they could still be up to doing these sorts of things now. And when there's smoke, there's fire. So,
well, I mean, I wouldn't go there, but I want to get back to that caller. I mean, you know, folks over there who commit crimes they go to jail.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter who they are, how rich they are. I don't know if we can say the same thing here. So let's not do that. But okay, and of course we've been wondering if these are the same people. You mentioned that case, whether it is the same person. It appears that it might be the same person, but hopefully this will all come out soon. But it just doesn't feel like this administration is. We're in the head about it, to put it right, or as concerned about this and the optics as they should be. But deflecting quite a bit and putting it on the opposition,
and it reminds me of, I feel that I can't even call his name, but makes up his own narrative. Like there'll be one thing in front of him to say, "Oh, we didn't welcome you to this game," but then you come and say, "Oh, it was a great reception." So are they just creating their own narrative as well to try to make us look or feel like we're crazy? Or you understand what I mean? Like this is what's there. This is what's being presented. This person has been charged. So don't act like it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. You have a responsibility to address this. Don't just, yes, the budget is important. We don't want to take away from the budget, yes. However, probably if you address the issues, the noise will go away.
Wow. Let's take another call. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And the Questa.
Good morning.
Yes,
good
Dwight.
Morning.
Yeah, man, we have to keep making noise. Dwight, when Mr. Curtis was arrested, right, our Prime Minister came on a national airways and he told the Bahamian people that, he don't worry about things to that because it's possibly entrapment, right? And then, by his officers, right? And then one of the officers, couple months, right, pleaded guilty, right? Now here our Prime Minister come back again, trying to trying to make us not understand what is actually happening, right? But by suggesting what he is suggesting, but hey, at the end of the day, the nothing burger is now a something burger. The people who was out just a day before this indictment was out there celebrating. Mostly PLP is celebrating the fact that this gentleman is coming back home and yada yada, and you all better be careful and all of them type of stuff. But now today you hear the first caller. They are angry now because the reality, or they're barely probably breaking down, right? Because the reality is sitting in. I'm patriotic for Bahamians who are following the law aggressively, who is trying to make sure that they are not trying to tarnish the Bahamas or bring down this country for the next generation. I will never be patriotic with nobody who are there doing notorious things to bring down my identity, and I even don't. I'm not even a part of it. You want me to be patriotic to that? It's impossible. We need this administration to come out and stop trying to talk down to us as if we are grandparents that we only had one radio station and no television, right? We are in the time where information is readily available, Mr. Prime Minister. So you are please stop trying to, because the embarrassment is not coming from America. The embarrassment is coming from the same House of Assembly where we have our leaders are not to come out and speak the truth for the Bahamian people, man. You guys have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Wow. Got a lot of your messages coming in via text. We'll get to those in a bit, but the phone lines are all lit up. Let's hear from you. Caller, good morning. You're live on Morning Blend. Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, in the quest of Seattle and Johnson.
Hi.
Yeah, Dwight, there's been hundreds, if not thousands, of Bahamians who've been extradited from the Bahamas, Bahamians and foreigners extradited from the Bahamas, or charged with information of activities throughout the Bahamas. This government now wants us to question the validity of all those actions over the last decades. We talk about reputation, but at the same time, you want us to dismiss, what is happening. It's like as if though nothing existed. So the question is that if you take the position that this government have, where everything has to be proven, it questions our cooperative document for OBAT and other arrangements that we have, because we should then take the position that, that these people just will make up stuff and say stuff on us. Right, my concern, though, is also for the Guardian, and the Tribune. And the reason for that is, you remember the picture in the House of Assembly that was held up by Adrian White? There was an implication. Mind you, you guys have been publishing these pictures for days, weeks. You've been publishing other pictures. And the implications coming from this government is that merely displaying this picture could mean harm or something happening to individuals that do these things. That's very, very concerning. I don't know whether it was a threat to Adrian or a threat to the media in regards to reporting those things. But you also talk about the uncontested or untested. We talk about the nothing burger. We talk about entrapment. Then we could go retroactively to when Mr. Gardner was released, right? And look at the contracts on when he was released up to 2017. And the government almost has no idea who he is. But yet when he was brought into the Bahamas, do you know he came with a dossier attached to it showing that he was under community control of the U.S. government for up to 5 years after his release? Do you know that is given to the Minister of National Security, the Prime Minister, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs for the government at that particular time for 2014? And so,
wow, okay,
these are facts, right? We somehow don't seem to know how things work, and they try to dumb us down. They try to fire hose us. They try to do these different things and overload our senses and gaslight us and tell us, dismiss your reality and accept the one we dictate to you. That's not governance. Okay, that's dumbing us down.
All right, Seattle, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Got more calls coming in. Let's get to that. Caller, you're on the air.
Thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
The public deserves to know who is politician number one.
Of course.
All right? And if I were Prime Minister, I would want to at least clear myself, because I'm the most senior politician in the Bahamas. That makes me number one. So we probably know already. What is he afraid of? I mean, just before all of this came out, paying $1.2 million annually to clear and clean the image of the Bahamas, when the persons who know the image of the Bahamas are not being paid to do it? Come on, man. Look, if there was never an informant negotiating a drug deal in our parliament, we would have never heard anything about it. Thank you, America, for giving us our Epstein moment, and we're not going to let up. I hope the Bahamian public not let up. Now, those who are on the PM side, who are beneficiaries of this, they don't want this because what?
I mean, what that I don't.
Well,
yeah.
If I were on the PM side, I wouldn't want this to come out. But now an indictment.
See, no, you're getting us into some dangerous territory there. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but okay. Let's read some messages before we go back to the phone calls. All right, here we go. This person says, if from an operational standpoint, it has long been a fairly common tactic for U.S. agencies, particularly in major narcotics investigations, to seek opportunities to engage individuals outside of their country of residence whenever possible. The rash potential jurisdictional complications, extradition issues, citizenship-related considerations, and other procedural hurdles that can arise when dealing with someone on their home turf. I'm not suggesting that's definitely what happened in this case, but the concept itself is certainly not unusual. It's a classic law enforcement approach that has been associated with agencies such as the DEA and FBI for decades. Well, whether that was the motivation here. Okay, what are we talking about here, though? What's the text you mean about the plane? The plane not being under its own control? That's what you're talking about? Okay. This person says, I don't care what Bahamians say. Until this case plays out in the U.S. courts and the U.S. gives a ruling and calls out who the politician is, Bahamians still wouldn't believe what the government says, even if they do an investigation, because most don't believe nothing they say. They are damned if they do, damned if they don't. Well, that didn't happen overnight. That happened. There's a reason for that. If that is true, there's a reason for that. So, change your attitude, change your way that you deal with things, and eventually people will start to believe you. If that is the issue. I don't know entirely if that's true. This person says the Prime Minister is unserious. That's all they're saying. Okay. Quick question. Did we, the Bahamian Police or Attorney General, freeze his assets while they investigate? Especially since the allegations are so serious. Are they performing an audit of his accounts to see how money was flowing in and out and from whom? Just asking. Duquesa, what do you think about that? Used to be in banking. Does that happen?
I mean, I laughed out loud. I was on mute, but I had a real giggle. Real giggle.
That's funny. I'm so... No, I'm not going to read this. No, I can't read this text. They're being shady, though. But I do want to say this in response to the Prime Minister saying that the opposition has hijacked the budget debate. But if you do feel that way, we invite you. There's a whole lot of your people refuse to come on some of our shows, but we invite you to come. Have your ministers. There's a whole lot of them in the cabinet. Many. How many now? 98? Have them come on and talk about the things they feel the public needs to be aware of, the changes, what to expect. We welcome them. We have some names at the top of the list. Some who avoided us the previous 4.5 years. It may be great to talk with them finally. So let us help you. Let us help you. This person says, if Sam Bankman-Fried committed all manner of fraud while in the Bahamas, can we have his U.S. assets forfeited? If Gardner is found guilty, we get the assets. I agree with that caller. We should be patriotic and show support for our narco traffickers. Morals and ethics be damned. I'm sure this is some cynical, sarcastic text. It's got to be. Got to be. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Can you remind the caller that the same court that indicted Gardner is the same one that has already convicted the current resident of 1600? Sir, the Prime Minister is way off on this one. Here we have a man convicted of drug smuggling in the U.S. My government gave him contracts to construct homes. The man was found on an unregistered aircraft, a pilot that has no license, $30,000 in cash on election day with the politician's name, 11 souls on board wearing PLP paraphernalia. His fiancé, oh Lord, okay. No, I'm going to leave out that sentence there. Is my government assisting the man? It's more than a nothing burger. They'll be laying out the case there. It's a serious, serious matter indeed. Why are people speaking as if the Prime Minister knows whose politician won?
I almost choked. Sorry? What does that person mean?
I'm wondering if you had a smaller cabinet, would it be better to control and to monitor what they're doing? Is that something we should learn, the lesson we should learn out of all of this? When you have 250 people in your cabinet, does that make it, we don't know what the left hand is doing because it's so far down the street from here, across the country from here. Maybe
But
I wonder.
no,
I wonder.
Dwight,
No, you don't think so?
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. Wait, last year's cabinet was really big, but this year's cabinet is even bigger.
Yeah.
I no, and this is didn't they say a senior? They didn't say it was a senior politician, just a politician. Yes or no?
Politician.
You don't remember?
Yeah. Well, they were saying they have they've been saying in all of these cases with the assistance of senior politicians, they've been saying that. Yes. But what we call senior and what they call senior and what other people call senior, it might be debatable, but not somebody who just showed up, I suspect. This person says the current administration has done a poor job of properly addressing this issue. They have done everything to either ignore, deflect, minimize, gaslight, insult people trying to get answers or some level of clarification. Being patriotic is not simply defending against a foreign entity, but any Bahamian whose actions put our national reputation at risk. The situation is anything but a nothing burger. They should be treating it as such from the beginning. Yeah. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Well, this is a serious situation. I only called in when I heard you talk about proceeds and compensation, right? And my thing is, to all who are listening, whatever you're getting involved with, make sure that whatever investment you have, make sure that that investment is solid and the background of those companies are in good standing. Because if Uncle Sam finds you, they're coming for their asset and proceeds of whatever drug activities. So every man for himself. I tell any parliamentarian, you can't swear for nobody. You only get swear for yourself. Because this thing is very serious. If these people are found guilty and all the proceeds are involved with the Bahamas and buildings, they're gone and your money gone. So you got to be honest, buddy. You can't swear for nobody. You make sure if your friend a bad company, you keep away from that company. Because Uncle Sam, and it's not Trump, it's the United States policy. And nothing to do with Donald Trump. That's their policy. They coming after you. Simple as that.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you very much. I mean, unfortunately, the criteria before now seems to have been for getting into business with people is I've known that's my boy from when he was 4. Or that's my cousin, or that's my cousin friend, and that's all. But I think some folks are going to have to change their ways, change the way they do business. The question: have you ever gotten into business with somebody only because you knew them since you were 4?
No. But I mean, it's a reason that people do form partnerships.
Wow, that's wild.
They know each other all their lives.
Wow.
And the reality is, you only know what people show you. Like, you only know what people show you. Do you really ever know anyone?
Well, that's a good question. Let's take another call. Wow. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Duquesa.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight.
Good morning.
And Duquesa, listen to me. Everything that is being said about the plane, the King Air, the plane crash, the MP, number 1, the indictment, and all are apropos. You just have to take all these notes and pay attention and wait to hear what all comes. Remember, in 2021, that there was an indictment there was an incident that happened 3 weeks after they came to power with the plane out of Colonel Hill. And
okay. I mean, we're getting into sure. Okay. But yes, we got to find all the old stories coming out now. Let's read, thank you for the call. Let's read a couple more messages and we'll get back to the calls in a bit. This person says, do you realize if a cabinet minister stands up in a cabinet meeting and says, y'all, I'm politician 1, nobody would be obligated to say anything. Everybody would be governed by honor. But,
and I really don't think anyone would be shocked.
I don't know if it would go like that. I'm not too sure. I mean, I wouldn't be. Like I said, this cabinet is exceptionally large. If it were smaller, this would be the drawback too. If it's smaller, a little bit more. I don't know. There's some people in there who are pretty decent, and I don't think they would just let that go like that. But we're assuming that they don't know who it is. Mm-hmm. I'm really disappointed with the first caller, Haymans, who love the country. I'm so thankful not all of us see things the way that he thinks, and that the way that the Prime Minister should do what the Prime Minister should do, and all of his members of Parliament. It's a lot going on with this text. All of you're losing me here. There's no punctuation, and I'm not sure if this is the same thought. Okay. All of his members of Parliament on the PM side should jump on one of our jets from the Bahamas and go to the United States, maybe New York, and prove to the world and the Bahamian people that he is a serious prime minister who takes his job seriously. That's what you think he should do. Wow. If it's one of them who is politician number one, that he, Prime Minister, will deliver the member to them, and then Prime Minister Davis will prove to us that he's not politician number one and show us what progress is all about. Wow, that was all one text with nothing, no full stop, comma, anything. But okay, that's what you think he should do. Thank you. This is not about America versus the Bahamas. This is about whether or not the allegations are credible, and the allegations are credible enough for one of the world's foremost crime-fighting organizations to go to one of the world's most respected legal institutions. Also, patriotism has nothing to do with defending criminality, perceived or proven. This texter says here, this isn't rocket science. It is imperative for our government to aggressively investigate these allegations and say to the U.S. authorities, if it is what the investigation reveals, that our government's hands are clean, that our politicians are truly honorable, anything else is simply not acceptable. The only way to refute accusations are facts. Please, will you allow this matter to play out in court? And Mr. Gardner is just like any other Bahamian, who was arrested in the USA for drug trafficking. He is not a politician. He is what? Like any other Bahamian who was arrested in the USA for drug trafficking. He's not a politician. I don't understand any part of your text. Okay, but allow it to play in the court. Well, we certainly can't do anything but that. So, but he's like any other Bahamian who's been arrested in the USA for drugs. What's that supposed to mean? What? Okay.
We don't talk about Dwight. We don't talk about them.
I don't know what that is. Who is? What type of text is that? Okay. The Bahamas has been in this traffic zone over and over again. A former prime minister said, let the chips fall where they may. When the U.S. federal court is after a felon, they are coming to get you and others. The Bahamas was told to repent, but they choose otherwise. Wow. Now Judgment Day is here. Remember, Bahamians, remember Bahamas. Okay. Why is it so hard to wait until the U.S. case is over to deal with said politician one? What are you talking about? Gardner did his time and was deported back to the Bahamas a free man. He was wanted in the Bahamas and wasn't wanted in America. Why have all these drug cases popped up after the China hospital collaborations? Please stop. Stop. That's foolishness. Stop it. It wouldn't... okay, I get it. How do we expect the Prime Minister to know who is politician number one if the name was redacted?
Is that person serious?
I mean, it's possible. Hey, everything's possible. Anything is possible. I mean, you got to have a theory. Somebody's got
a theory, right? At least.
At least a theory. And you got to watch the road, as they say. Certain things have happened, certain other things haven't happened, and you could deduce, assume certain things, maybe.
Inspect your cabinet at the very least.
Were other Bahamians arrested in the U.S. for drug trafficking and also getting government contracts? That texter is crazy. Well, all of you are really going off the rails right now.
Or for allegedly having discussions about drug trafficking in Parliament.
This person's asking us to replay the Prime Minister's comments about that matter. Okay, we'll get to that in a bit. Producer, we'll pull that up again so you can hear it. Can the Prime Minister simply deny that he is not number one on the list? So we need number one is in government. Okay. Do we know if... okay. Don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But just so you know, Nassau is the capital. Do we know if the bank, they're calling a bank's name, is because some of us are having a problem getting our money out of the bank?
Man, I can't. We just go far. Oh my gosh.
The bank might just be lousy. That's all I can say.
How would it be connected?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Someone saying, I think drug dealers are sending you these messages, or retired drug dealers. I suspect. I really do suspect. Let's hear what the Prime Minister had to say again about the hijacked budget debate and the opposition's obsession with finding out who is this corrupt politician, allegedly.
Despite welcoming millions of...
No, the Prime Minister, yeah. Take a listen to what he said yesterday. As we get that clip ready for you right now.
The maturity of this House and the trust of the Bahamian people. Their decision to focus so much time, for example, and attention, and gimmickry on a legal matter before the courts of the United States in respect to a person arrested after a plane crash meant that the national budget did not get the full attention it deserves. Last month, this government made it clear that the serious allegations raised in that case would be subject to a full and independent investigation. That position has not changed and will not change. Without the facts, it achieves nothing to continue to speculate via press statements, political point scoring, or social media commentary. Allegations of this gravity are far too serious to be cheapened into a cycle of accusation, speculation, and spectacle. The only facts we know are the ones already in the public sphere. Up until now, the American courts have provided no further information.
Okay, all right. Prime Minister Philip Davis. Let's go back to the calls. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. And who's in there with you?
Duquesa.
Good morning, Dwight and Duquesa. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good. And good morning to the nation. Look, the Prime Minister, Dwight, is completely correct.
Wow.
Right? I have 3 points I'd like to make in reference to why I say that and surrounding it. The Commissioner of Police, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of National Security, the Attorney General, and the Chief Representative of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas have not been appraised of any information, even to this point where the Prime Minister has written requesting whatever evidence they possess. Nothing has been provided. And we see here recently, Dwight, Duquesa, and the nation, we see here recently where the attorney for the accused, because that's all it is at this point, the attorney for the accused is now writing for the courts in America to engage in a no case to answer submission,
which was dismissed. Which was dismissed.
Pardon me?
That was dismissed, and he's been charged. Okay.
Okay, fine. He's finally been charged.
It's a big fine.
Finally, but charge is not an admission of guilt, and it is not it is not a ruling of guilt by the courts, right? And so that's a long
When the
way
PLP is involved, or is that across the board for everybody?
Here's the point. That's a standard of common law practice everywhere in the world, Dwight.
Okay.
And in any event, here's the point, Dwight. Let me ask you a question. Yourself, the question, and anyone who chooses to call in after. If a Bahamian found themselves afoul of the law, right? Whatever part of the law they found themselves running afoul of, and they served their time, right? Is that Bahamian not entitled to conduct business in the Bahamas or anywhere in the world? That's the question.
Sure, why not? But is that what we're talking about, though?
Bahamian people who are calling on your show and on the Guardian station all day long are acting ridiculous.
But that's not what we're talking. That's not what the.
Right, that's all a part of the conversation. It is all people are acting as though the gentleman.
Okay, but that's not the big issue here.
Conducting business with the bomb.
If the person is still a drug trafficker, then that is a big problem.
If the person is still a drug trafficker, if conjecture, speculation again, if.
Yeah, but I think it also speaks to the relationship, though. It speaks to the relationship between said person and the government. With multiple contracts, the relationship seems very deep.
It seems.
And then let's just not pick out parts. Now, you are found in international waters in your political paraphernalia with an envelope with a politician's name on it, which leads to speculation again. It's not black and white. It's not black and white.
Go on, Anton.
That's speculation again.
Speculation is an interesting word. When you face charge, you say that with the police. When the police say something, when they charge you, you say that's speculation?
It's speculation.
When the police charge you?
They are not the court. They are not the jury. They can charge you and take you to court, right? That's the way it happens anywhere in the world. And then you have your chance and your day in court to represent yourself. But something you said just now, DeCressa, made me want to express this. You have someone who's conducting business, right? To the tune of tens of millions of dollars. Riding around with $30,000 ain't nothing for someone like that, man. That's change. People local.
With a politician name on it. With a politician name on it.
Nor do you.
That is. Why are you acting like charges from an official investigative branch is gossip? The same thing the speaker is doing. Why are you saying that?
Charges from an official branch of any government of the world is just that.
Do you talk like this in the Bahamas when it comes to Bahamians in the Bahamas?
For anyone who is charged, Dwight, until it is tested and proven.
Okay. Well, here's the challenge, Anton. Here's the challenge, right? Because many folks are wondering, why is it that PLP supporters, known PLP supporters, are getting behind this man in this manner? This is not necessarily about the government. There might be a bad apple, but the same folks are coming to the defense of this. It is very strange.
Understand my point, Dwight. Understand my point. And please do not mistake me for someone who supports wrongdoing, because I do not. But I also will uphold right, no matter if it's 1,000 people standing against and only me one. Once it is right, I will take that stand and I will cement myself in the right stand, not the wrong stand. Dwight,
you got to do it for the F&Ms and the COIs amongst the Bahamian people as well, though. Are you doing that?
Who's the person you were suggesting?
I'm just saying, whenever there's a matter with them, immediately they are to be convicted and they're thrown.
I have spoken up in many instances with persons who are right now, who are right before the courts right now. From
send us the clips.
Party.
Send us the clips. I'm not too sure.
On your show, as well as on other shows on the Guardian. But Dwight, let me end with this. Point being, Dwight, anyone who is charged before any court, no matter where it is, in the United States, the UK, Africa, no matter where it is on this planet, right? Asia, you are innocent and presumed innocent until you are proven guilty. That's why you charge and then you adjudicate the matter through the courts, right? Mm-hmm. You don't go from being charged and then in the public opinion, someone is guilty and you accept that as standard in a civilized, respectable operating country. You do it in banana republics. You do that in kangaroo court.
Oh, okay. So you're saying the same things about the cases with the other police officers in the defense force and those other ones with the
persons have been given their day in court, right? Mm-hmm. And the court or the jury hears their matter, and even upon their ruling, if they choose to exercise further rights of appeals, right up to the Privy Council, until all those matters have been executed. You cannot
You can't.
And if he's found, before you go on to question, and if he's found guilty, what should we do about politician one?
If he's politician one information, I presume if they acquired it the right way, if they were legitimately acquiring that information and they can use that in the public domain in the courts in America, I presume politician one information will come out during the trial. And so we all have to wait and see, not be about the place trying to guilt someone, trying to create public pandemonium irresponsibly when no evidence has been presented that has been proven true to this day.
So potentially, politician one should be allowed to run amok and continue to do with their life of crime, and we just wait until the U.S. deals with this matter.
They're the only ones with that information, as they put it out in the public domain, as our Prime Minister has written to the U.S. State Department.
Everybody in this country knows everybody's business, but we can't figure out who that one is. I find that very hard to believe. Okay, all right. When things happen to people around here, immediately the next hour. Oh well, back in 1999, and then again in 2012, they had done. And then you remember the time when they were in primary school, the time when they did that. That was a sign from then. And like, whoa, everybody knew this.
Listen, even though Anton is saying that and we know legally, all of us know legally that a person is not convicted until they get a guilty. That's in the legal court. That's in the court system. At the same time, brand protection, brand credibility, brand reputation is also important. So while a person may not be convicted, there are certain actions, there are certain conversations, there are certain things that should happen to protect the brand of the organization that is sitting accused, because there's also the court of public opinion. That has to be managed, not just the legal court.
Absolutely. We're going to pick this up on the other side, folks. I've got a whole lot of your text messages to get to. This is Morning Blend on a Thursday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
They're joking and they're jiving and they're messing around. We got some jokey leaders. What a bunch of clowns. Come on. Oh, yeah. Watch this. The House of Parliament must see a jokey place. Cause all I see is laughing when I look in at their face. They chuckling and giggling like something.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
For today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So that heat advisory continues for the entire northern half of the country, the northwest and northern Bahamas, including New Providence, Grand Bahama, Bimini, Abaco, Berry Islands, and Andros. And everyone should limit outdoor activities, especially strenuous outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours. And aside from the occasional isolated shower or thunderstorm that may develop during the day, a broad high-pressure ridge will remain the dominant weather feature across the region, promoting generally stable weather along with seasonably hot and humid conditions through tonight. So the conditions are expected to continue across all areas through Friday as that ridge remains firmly established. But beginning early Saturday, prefrontal troughing ahead of a series of cold fronts, yes, in June, will pass well north of the area and will help to weaken the prevailing wind pattern while increasing shower and thunderstorm activity across the northernmost islands through next week. So that's going to bring some much needed relief from the excessively hot conditions. But across the southern half of the country, stable, very warm, and occasionally breezy conditions expected to continue into early next week. Rain chances are forecast to increase slightly by late Monday as an approaching tropical wave moves into the region. In the meantime, though, for now, everyone's being advised that the UV indices will be in the very high to extreme range, and there's a slight risk of rip currents along Atlantic-exposed beaches in the central and southeast Bahamas. Your forecast for today, partly sunny, turning mostly fair tonight with a 10 to 30% chance of showers for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence. A mix of sun and clouds for the extreme northern islands, including Grand Bahama, turning mostly fair tonight with a 10 to 30% chance of showers with thunderstorms. Mostly sunny, turning fair tonight for the central and southeast Bahamas with a 10 to 20% chance of showers. High temperatures getting close to 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius for the northern half of the country. The heat index will make it feel like it's in the triple digits, 110 Fahrenheit, 43 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 26, 27 Celsius. For the central and southeast Bahamas, highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to as warm as 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Friday, most areas looking at partly sunny to sunny conditions. Mostly fair at night with increasing cloudy conditions across the northern islands. And by Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy for the northernmost islands. Elsewhere, looking at partly sunny conditions, mainly fair at night. Rain chances way up for the extreme northern islands, a 30 to 50% chance of showers with thunderstorms. That's going to hold into Sunday. And by Monday, the northern half of the country looking at a mix of sun and clouds, turning partly cloudy at night. And mostly sunny for the central and southeast Bahamas. Still elevated chances slightly for the northern and northwest Bahamas. In the tropics, we've got post-tropical cyclone Arthur affecting the Gulf Coast states, bringing quite a bit of rain to that part of the U.S. That is your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that get started. And day 23, time for a check of traffic, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. So we've got some roadworks to let you know about. West Bay Street, beginning at Ferguson Road and New Providence Highway. That work started yesterday and is expected to go on for at least a couple of days. It's happening between 8 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. nightly. And you're advised to avoid this area if possible and follow all the posted traffic signs. Right now, in your real-time traffic, we are seeing some heavy traffic on West Bay Street near New Providence Highway. It's eastbound in near Saunders Beach. And once you exit that area, still some slow-moving traffic approaching Arawak Key. Getting busy again once you get closer to Nassau Street, heading into downtown Nassau. Elsewhere, we've got Mile Butler Highway, heavy traffic for you just north of the Fire Trail roundabout, straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. If you're heading northbound, traffic backed up along Tonic Williams Darling Highway westbound right now towards that roundabout as well. And Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic there from Carmichael straight up to the roundabout with Independence Drive, and slow moving northbound, north of that roundabout all the way up to Corrido Avenue. East Street also busy for you north and south of the intersection, or the roundabout with East-West Highway, Independence Drive, mainly northbound, straight through the roundabout and north of Balfour Avenue. So keep that in mind if you're there. Also seeing heavy traffic on Robinson Road from Prince Charles into Marathon. Very slow-moving westbound traffic at this hour. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you're on the road or planning your next move, they've got you covered. Visit NUAinsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
stay away. Don't you invade my home. Best off if you hang outside. Don't come in. I'll only run and hide. Who can it be now? Who can it be now? Who can it be now? Who can it be now?
We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. That's what everyone's asking. Who can it be? Who is politician number one? Is there only one politician number one? Will we ever get the answers? That's what we want to know. We're going to get back to that in just a bit. Yeah, we're going to get back into that in just a bit. Just a reminder, on tomorrow, a special show just in time for Father's Day. We're going to be coming to you live from Bahamas Bus and Truck, the GWM dealership there. They've got some powerful deals for Dad. The lowest prices of the year. 1 day only, so you've got to come down there. That's going to be going on from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., but we'll be there in the morning getting you ready for that. And lots of prizes could be won as well. So tune in tomorrow for all the details, but putting you on notice that that is the place to be tomorrow, Bahamas Bus and Truck. Okay, so also coming up this morning, we're going to be talking with Storm Frame about hurricane season, hurricane impact windows, the do's and the don'ts, all of that. And later we'll get the details on the Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation Ball that's coming up. So that's all ahead on this busy Thursday morning. So we just want to wrap up the discussion we were having before the break. Calls are coming in still, and we got a lot of your text messages about today. So this is an interesting text, Duquesa. This person says, Dwight, I ask everyone to Google the conviction rate in the Southern District of New York. That's the reason why you see so many plea deals there. All right, so I did that, and very interesting stuff here. So you can get the AI overview, but you can also verify it with the government, the U.S. government's sites and sources there. But the conviction rate in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York exceeds 95% for all federal criminal crimes that reach a resolution. Because federal prosecutors are highly selective with their cases, I think every Bahamian needs to hear this. Because federal prosecutors are highly selective with their cases and regularly secure plea agreements, the vast majority of defendants ultimately plead guilty rather than going to trial. So the guilty pleas typically account for about 95% of convictions. Trial convictions, cases that actually go to trial, maintain an extremely high conviction rate, significantly higher than the national average due to the extensive resources and preparation by the Southern District of New York. You heard that, Duquesa?
Right here listening. I'm dumbfounded, Dwight, honestly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if you should be dumbfounded. This is not a play court.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not. What I don't understand, though, Dwight, is when you see people in politics and high office in the United States, or people who are even just running, or other countries, I shouldn't just single out the United States, and there are convictions or alleged allegations or whatever, like those people step down from office, or they do, I guess, whatever is honorable in a lot of instances. Why aren't we seeing that here?
It's a good question. I wish I knew the answer.
I know that's one that it just has crickets, right?
Mm-hmm. And even if there are issues in the past, people come back as if nothing ever happened before. And time heals everything, I guess. That's what they think. And we often re-elect them or give them new posts, so I guess they're right.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Let's take these calls quickly. You want to read these messages. We've got a whole lot, especially in response to Anton before the break. But let's hear from you. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning and pleasant day to you, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Co-host.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you. I want to start off by saying I love the Prime Minister as a person, but I take note of a word that was used yesterday in his remarks. I I'm wondering whether that was made after the arraignment or the grand jury was presented the indictment. But the word is gimmickry, and I think that is an inappropriate word.
Well, he was using that.
Time of this in the state.
He was using that to for the opposition, though.
Pardon me?
He was using that to describe the actions of the opposition.
Yeah. But I think it was misplaced, totally misplaced. So, unlike Anton, I love the Prime Minister, but I wouldn't say that everything that he does is correct. Okay. So in the use of that word, I will redact in the word. We're using the word redact in these days.
Okay.
So I will redact that word.
Wow. Okay.
I want to also say that in terms of the heat index of 100 and how many degrees, I want to caution everyone to drink a lot of water, young and old, because people are falling out. Young and old are falling out in this heat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And last but not least, I would like to ask that the young people be very productive during the summer in school remedial work and also learning, whether it's a craft or art, as well as table tennis, they'll be young in July. 9 to 1 o'clock, 3, of course.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Appreciate your call. All right, let's take this one, and then we'll get to your messages on the text line. Caller, good morning. You're live. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you all this morning?
Doing well.
Dwight, wasn't it the same Sunday the President of the United States was also tried? You could check the record, and it would show that was the same exact court system. Okay, another question I have. The F&M administration, the same Gardner was given contracts under the Christie administration, never canceled under the former F&M administration. And then on top of that was given more contracts under the F&M administration. The last one is the water tower on Blue Hill Road, which now involves an Adrian Gibson's case. Okay, you can research that also. And one more thing is the politician was redacted from the record. That's what was stated? The name of the politician.
You haven't seen the pictures?
Oh, pardon me?
Yes, his name was redacted, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
or her.
Let me give you a little heads up, and you could do your own research. Okay? It wasn't a DA agent that gave that information. It was a DA informant, according to the United States of America. Go do the research on it, and you'll see that it was an informant that gave that information. This is why that particular politician was redacted from the records. Okay? Thank you, man.
Well, I don't know. Why are you all defending any of this? Why are you talking about it? This is so bizarre. Are you? I don't get it. What are we doing?
That's it there. I don't care either.
Who is this guy? I'm famously out of the loop. Always. As you all know, I'm living in a bubble. Very proud and happy to be. But what am I missing? Okay. Wow. So, but I hear you. It's under both administrations. Lock everybody up. Sure. I agree. This one says here, they're guilty. They're all guilty. Lock up all of them in the House of Assembly. But this is not a good look for the government. This one says, I need to know how much Anton's advocacy costs. I'm asking just in case I ever need to go to court. I would want him to speak on my behalf. Mm-hmm. This other one says, Anton, you should get your call for board appointment soon because you have gone over the top this morning with your support for foolishness. I mean, he might get a cabinet post. That was quite a lot. Quite a lot. It's disheartening where we as a people all are in defense for an alleged drug dealer. Some people. If the office of the Prime Minister was wise, they would make Anton their press liaison officer. That guy elevates to Whitney Houston status when it comes to singing. It's a whole lot, Anton. I'm sorry. I'm not going to read all of these, but the people have a lot to say. with your performance today. Why does our Prime Minister sound a lot like President Trump when questioned by reporters? They both are trying to make light of serious allegations and try to brush them off when you or criticize the question. Almost every day, almost all the people have a criminal background. Who people? They even clean the records of drug traffickers before the election. Who people? I must live in a bizarro world. These supporters are insane. Do they not see what drugs have done to the country? A known convicted drug dealer and now again formally charged for drug trafficking in alliance with the politician is being defended from the halls of government. We are once again an official narco state. We are finished. You let Anton run on too long. Oh, boy. Anton should open a wash house. The spin cycle is crazy work. Yikes. You asked him what should happen to politician number one if proven. He refused to say what should happen. I don't think he refused. Didn't he say that? Must be. Yeah, he dealt with. He said that. Fred Mitchell's Nothing Burger is turning out to be a Biggie-sized combo with a Frosty.
Say what?
I don't know. Don't impugn the name of that wonderful brand with this, don't associate them with nonsense. This person says here, we have a Bahamian citizen who was arrested on his own plane, and charged with conspiracy to import 5 keys of coke into the USA. Then we have another Bahamian citizen who was arrested on a politician's boat in the USA with 200 keys, but we seem only to talk about one of these two men. The question is why. You sure about that, Texter? I don't think you're right. I don't think you're right at all. This person says here, what's going on with the online connection? What are you listening to? Let us know how you are listening. What are you listening on? And we can see what's going on there. This person says they are deflecting and dodging until we leave it alone, or hoping that we leave it alone. If an alleged crime was committed in the Bahamas in the House of Assembly, every available resource and local agency should be made available to uncover the truth, particularly when it includes a sitting MP. And, so the text is coming back. Yes, my apologies. Almost all of the people, they're saying in a particular party, are doing business with the folks tied to drugs. Wow. Okay, that's wild. If Pintard addresses the allegations the way the PLP, okay, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what you're saying. Yeah. All right. Let's take one or two more calls, and then we got to go to a break. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning again.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So, yes, I'm your first caller, right? And I heard the barrage of attacks after that call. Let me clarify what I was saying. So, who in their right mind would be advocating or trying to give a pass to a known criminal? What I was suggesting is, let us bring down the speculation and the rhetoric, as Anton suggested, without proof. The Southern District of New York threw out there, hey, there are these politicians. Who are they? There are no indictments. There are no names. There is nothing to go off. All they did was throw out this allegation, and they have no proof towards it. So what do we do as Bahamians? Do we follow that down a rabbit hole to nowhere, or we wait until there is tangible evidence, names, charges, indictments, these type of things to go off of? Other than that, we are just making noise. We are just dispersing our own reputation in the interim. That is my claim. Not to give a pass to persons who have been charged, and like Anton say, you're not convicted. You're only charged. There's a charge made against you. It has to be proven in the court of law. That was my overarching contribution.
All right, but many of us disagree with you, though, because we do have investigators who can look into this matter. Right? We have people skilled who can look into this matter from a local perspective. So I don't know if not everyone's going to agree with you at all.
If you have an allegation against you have to give me, you have to show me the evidence that you have against me in order for me to investigate. If I can't investigate nothing.
As people have brought up, there's CCTV, we have footage, we can go back and check, hopefully go back and check and see if there was a meeting in Parliament, as has been suggested. There are a lot of other things.
2024, right?
You know, when it's convenient, they can pull up stuff from 1924.
No, they're not gonna have. They're not gonna have.
I mean, do you know for sure? I don't know, but who knows? Who knows?
I'm saying locally, we may not have.
We may not. Sure. We don't know.
Whatever evidence they have, they suppose they ought to present it so that the local authorities here can at least begin to investigate. We can't investigate nothing.
Why not?
So someone comes to you.
That's not true.
Why not? Okay, so
that's not true at all.
Let me say this then. So someone comes to your house, right? Some authority, and they say, "Hey, I believe you to be a drug dealer. You steal and you lie and you cheat." And they give no evidence. They just throw that in there and walk away. What do you do?
That happens to Bahamians every day.
So I'm saying, what do you do with that, though?
Every single day. They will come in your house, they'll throw things around and then hold you for 48 hours, and then they'll say, "Oh, we didn't have anything to do." It happens all the time.
Or you get the opportunity to prove that you're innocent.
Yeah, but I can't prove I'm innocent when I don't know what is the charge. What is the charge?
So you're saying we don't.
These people are providing.
We can't do anything until the Americans. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I honestly don't know, Dwight. But what I'm saying is, we as Bahamians ought to be careful. I'm not saying we shouldn't hold our people in authority accountable. Hell yeah, most definitely. But when it comes to disparaging our character without evidence, without having anything to go off of, we ought to be careful with that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I think there's a larger issue. I think there's a larger issue that's being mixed, and I think that issue is the alarm, the continued conversations, the call for the government, the prime minister to speak out, speaks to a level of distrust. It speaks to the lack of transparency. It speaks to the credibility. And I think that is something that needs to be managed, whether Gardner is guilty or not. It looks bad on the government.
Yeah.
That is something that needs to be managed.
Yeah. And again, these are serious allegations that are popping up not just in one case, whether it's the same person as in the politician who's mentioned in other cases or not, something's going on. And we have to figure out what that is. That just lingering there in the atmosphere is doing more damage to our reputation than what you're suggesting, caller. Again, the biggest issue for me is the double standards, because we know that had this been any other group, the folks who are saying just wait and see would be calling for heads to roll. That is the most disturbing part of all this. Why is it good for the goose but not for the gander? Make it make sense. Or maybe you don't need to. We know exactly what this means.
Exactly. They don't need to make it
right.
make sense.
Ah, boy. We got to go to a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We didn't even talk about the cops getting accused of a 400-kilo cocaine plot or denying extorting 600 from tourists. Maybe later in the show. This is Morning Blend. Stay with us.
Chance to experience the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, July 3rd through 5th. Upgrade any premium lunch combo to a large with the co-product for your chance to win. Win cash prizes, travel vouchers, or the grand prize, a VIP trip for two to Essence Fest. Grab a day single, Asiago Ranch, Chicken Club, or 3-piece tenders combo today. Eat big, sip Coke, win big with Wendy's and Coca-Cola. Rules and restrictions apply.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. We also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil shrimp,
clays.
stew shrimp, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find color in every day.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean. And changing gears now, we are in the hurricane season, and we hope that song will shoo all the hurricanes away from here. But we do need to be on alert and prepared. And a lot of this, your preparation depends on your windows in your home. Are they prepared? Are they ready for a hurricane? We're going to talk about that this morning with Henry Lightbourne from Stormframe. Good to have you with us again.
Good morning, Bahamas.
All right, so before we get into the do's and the don'ts when it comes to hurricane windows, impact windows, tell us a little bit more about Stormframe.
Well, Stormframe Windows has been around since 1999. Wow. It's a 27-year-old company, and it has grown, or better word to use is morphed. We started with a very small environment, 20-foot by 20-foot showroom, and maybe about 5,000 square feet of manufacturing facilities. We have morphed into a 14,000 square foot showroom and manufacturing facility. If you come out, you wouldn't believe it. We are the largest window and door company in the Bahamas, and the largest we have the largest dealership in the region. That means the Caribbean. If you want any type of window, we will get it. If we do not have it, we will source it out. And that's one of the wonderful things about us. So that's who we are.
Okay, so you can do any size, any design.
Yeah. Within the appropriate dimensions, because to confirm that your window or door is certified, it has to go through a battery of tests. And that's what we are all about.
Okay. Wow. So how many employees do you have? How many people are manufacturing?
We have about 50 employees. We have a strong sales team of about 6 guys. And we are all over the place trying to convince people, buy our windows, buy our doors, let us provide them. And it's a very interesting and challenging environment to sell in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. There are a whole lot of people in this business now, but not everything is on the same page. Not everything is equal.
Yes. There is an old Latin phrase that says caveat emptor, or buyer beware. If price is the only thing you're looking at, then you could buy anything. But if you want something that will stand up to Category 5, certified windows and doors, you need to come to Storm Frame Windows. That's what makes us very, very different from everybody else.
Category 5 certified.
Yes.
All right. So explain that to us. And what are you seeing on the market that's are they not all Category 5 certified?
Well, I cannot say that, but what we do when we see a lot of competition with different types of windows and doors, we have taken some painstaking time to deconstruct some of these windows to see and doors to see exactly what their engineering is all about. And we have found flaws. We won't tell you what the flaws are because what we do is we take the same window or door and add our engineering component to it to make it a lot more durable. Because it is not tested, we say not certified. All right?
Okay.
But we will basically stand by it, but by it in the sense that, well, if a hurricane comes and there is no flaw with it, then you're good to go.
Wow. Okay.
So I have a question then. What, since you're unable to tell us like what those flaws are, can you tell us what makes a window or a door Category 5 certified?
All right. We have a process called, there is a process that you go through. What we have done historically after Hurricane Andrew, when South Florida improved their building codes, they made it a point that windows need to be properly anchored or glass needs to be properly anchored in your frame. It should be able to withstand, let's say, a large missile test, let's say a 10-foot 2x4 shot at it through a cannon. And if there is penetration, then it's not certified. Wow. And there are other components, like I said, being anchored in the frame, glass being anchored in the frame, and the frame can't just be plastic. It has to have some sort of reinforcement and what have you. And so that's what we are all about. And too many times people say, well, you hear them, oh, these are hurricane proof, but where's your certification?
Right.
You know, and a lot of these imports, let me be as diplomatic as possible, have no certification, but yet they're selling them to consumers.
Right.
And consumers believe, they're safe just because they say hurricane proof.
Right. Okay. So is there a difference in the terminology hurricane proof versus hurricane impact?
Well, we at Storm Frame Windows will use the word hurricane impact. Hurricane proof, if you look at a definition, how can you proof against a hurricane?
Right.
It's a naturally occurring event, or weather event, to be specific. Yes.
And it's going to be likely to be damaged, but it depends on what that damage looks like, right?
Yes. And we tell people, we tell our consumers, look, you buy a window from us, the window will break. If a coconut were to hit it at, let's say, 100 miles an hour, it will break. But the difference is that you will not get that penetration.
Right.
You will still be protected from the wind and the rain and all the other debris and what have you.
Right.
You will see you know when if there's a car crash, when you look at the glass, it spiders like that. And that's what we pride ourselves on.
All right. So you'll see some folks say that this is double pane glass or triple pane.
Yes.
Does that matter?
Yes.
Is that as simple as that, or does the number of panes make it more impact resistant?
Yes. What we do, the type of glass we have at our factory is what we call laminate glass, where we use a resin in between as a glue, and it's stuck together. And we have it in 5/16, 7/16, in some case 9/16 thick. The 9/16 are basically the glass that you see on some of the commercial buildings out here and what have you. But we use a 5/16 glass with us, but a lot of what we import use 7/16 glass. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I hope I answered the question.
But I do have a follow-up question, if that's okay.
Sure.
So you have the hurricane impact window that might break but won't shatter. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So if you have a window that's not hurricane impact and it doesn't protect you from the wind and rain, but it's cheaper to fix.
Yes, but you're correct. You can get your one pane or the plate glass replaced. We don't sell that. We don't sell plate glass. We use laminate glass. So it's a much more durable glass. And in that case, if you know you have a window that's not hurricane impact or hurricane proof, as people say, you need to put up some plywood.
But again, the question, cheaper to fix after the hurricane?
I would guess so.
Torn your house apart? And after
I'm just trying to make that distinction because I think like what he said just now is with the hurricane impact, you don't have to be in darkness because you don't have to put plywood over your windows. But if you only have the non-hurricane impact, you have to
you better batten up. You'd better batten up. Case in point, Dorian, 2019. We were responsible for supplying windows, certified impact windows for some of the very expensive homes over in Abaco. What we found that whole sides of buildings collapsed, but when they checked the windows, they were 100% operable.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Right. That makes you feel safe.
No, but that ain't gonna make you feel safe because it's also construction.
Right.
You have to have.
Right.
There's a lot to think about.
Yes. So not only windows, but if I could expand, windows and doors are as critical as a roof on a house. And if you don't have the right windows and doors in this environment, we are in a hurricane environment. We could get anywhere from Category 1 to Category 5. We've seen it over our lifetime. And that's why we were encouraging all Bahamians to really take this serious.
Yeah. Somebody's asking about it, and we're seeing, I'm sure you're seeing an increase in people getting glass doors,
Yes.
using these. What do people need to keep in mind when it comes to that?
Glass doors? Well, we manufacture single and double French doors. And if you have the right type of material, and if you get them from storm frame windows, we stand by them. Now, a lot of people would say, well, with glass doors, people can break in. Yes, people will always try to break in. You have people with that distorted view of what is theirs and what isn't theirs. But if someone were to take a sledgehammer to one of these doors or one of the windows, it's not going. When you hit it, it's not going to break right through.
Yeah.
It's going to take you about 5 minutes to get in, and most people are smash and grab thieves. And what we say is, our windows and doors are designed for severe weather, but some of the other benefits are it could slow a perpetrator down. So if you have security cameras or alarm systems or motion sensors, you could then help you can avoid at least people getting into the house.
This will frustrate them and cause them to move on. We were talking about this off here, but this is another consideration with these types of windows and doors, with the heat that we're experiencing right now, and then sound issues. Let's talk about the benefits of this.
You indicate double pane. We call that insulated, where we have two pieces of laminate glass. And if you want to put the little squares, or what they call colonial styles, we could do that. Right. With the laminate glass and double glazed, as we call it, it mitigates a lot of energy coming in and out. So on the inside, if you have an air conditioning unit, it will keep it cooler. And if it's cool outside, it could stay warm simply because of that that manufacturing process. Yes.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. All right. So if you need to replace the old style windows that you've had since the 70s or 80s, what's the process dealing with storm frame? How long would it take? How long can you expect them in? It's already the middle, almost end of June. How soon during the hurricane season can I get these in?
Well, if you wanted casement windows or awning windows or French doors, we could manufacture that in basically 1 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
All right? Depending on what our production schedule is, because if we have 100 people come in this and this, it will take a little bit more time. For imported windows, like sliding windows or single hung windows that push up, we roughly about 8 weeks.
Okay.
Roughly about 8 weeks, yes.
So you have some things in stock.
Oh, yes, we have standard size stock windows. And just for advertising purposes, they start at $264. Okay. So if you are looking for bath windows, standard size, or just basically bedroom windows or kitchen windows, we have them in stock. And you can call us at 325-6633, and we will service you. A lot of times we would come out, we will do our own measurements just to make sure. And once you are satisfied with the type of window you want and the price, you work out your prices and what have you, you can make your deposit, and within, how should I put it, 1 to 4 or 5 weeks, you can get it if we manufacture it here.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So if you're on a limited budget, you need to replace all, but you don't have that type of money. Are there certain ones that you recommend that you should address first?
Well, first of all, I always use this example. There was a young lady who retired, or a middle-aged woman who retired, but wanted all her windows changed. When I showed her the price, she almost had sticker shock. But what happened was, I said, here is what we will do. You point out to us which elevation, meaning which side of the building, you want to start with first.
Yeah.
And we could do it over a process where you do the windows in the front, the rear, left, right.
Right.
And within, I would say, about 6 to 8 months or even a year, she had all the windows and was not that financial pressure on her.
So should that depend on where you think you'll be during a storm or where you normally spend time? Like, which ones should you address first?
Well, that depends. If you don't have houses around you, if you don't have, well, all sides will be vulnerable. But the key thing is, where do you want to start?
Yeah.
All right. And storm frame windows, we have our salespeople that will go out and do an assessment and make recommendations and identify exactly what type of window. And we want you to come into our showroom. We are down in the airport industrial park, just west of the airport. Nowhere in New Providence is far. So we encourage you to come down, take a look. You can ask for me, Henry, or I have several other team players, our manager, Don, Genio, Kenston, all of those. You can come down, 325-6633.
Yeah.
And the prices start at $264.
So you might make recommendations as well. It's like, we think you should go with these first.
That is correct. We make recommendations and advice and what have you.
Excellent. Excellent.
So do you have to come to the showroom to have someone come out to do an assessment, or can you call?
You just call in. You could call and ask for me. I'd like to come. I would like for you to come out and do it. And it's free of charge.
Okay.
It's free of charge.
Yeah. How do you give us the numbers? How do people reach you again?
We can be reached by 325-6633. That's our main number. You can call in and ask for Kirk, Genio, Don, Kenston, and me, Henry.
Okay. Interesting text messages we're getting. We'll get to those in a bit. But let's take this call. Good morning, caller. We're talking with Henry Lightburn with Storm Frame Windows. Hi.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Your guest, how you doing?
Doing
Good
well.
morning. Good morning.
Okay, you had mentioned, right? Your guest should have said that the hurricane windows that people sell only focus on the wind speed and force, whereas the Dell windows focus basically on debris and wind forces. Second thing I want to make a note on, right? Your guest should tell the listening audience, right, why it's best to go to his company opposed to ordering your windows from China. Because a lot of people get their windows from China, right, and after a while they recognize that the locking mechanisms for the windows actually don't work or fail. So I think that he should, because a lot of people now getting their stuff from China, so he should actually tell the people why it's best to prefer his company opposed to ordering their windows from China.
Okay, sounds like you need to do some PR for them. You want to join the team?
Okay,
thanks
yes,
a lot.
that is an excellent question. I took the time out and I called one of the manufacturers in China, or I WhatsApped them, and I simply asked them, are you certified for this region of the world? No, we're not satisfied. We sell all sorts of windows in the Bahamas. Well, take into consideration, they mass produce. Is there quality control? We don't know that. Now, some people who buy windows from China say, oh, you need to go to the right place. No, windows are windows are windows. If they say, where's your certification? If you don't have that, then you're taking it. All right? And I ask everyone out there who purchased these windows from wherever, is it certified? And if it's not certified, are you prepared to put your family and the investment in your home with these windows in them? And that's a key thing.
Yeah.
So other thing too is the materials we use are conducive to this environment. We use a plastic called UPVC, but inside the plastic we have reinforced galvanized steel. We take our glass, our impact glasses, and we glue them into the frame. We make sure that before they leave the factory that they're tested, and you are then able to pick them up, or we will deliver them to you.
Something else he asked about, the locking mechanisms, especially for the doors.
Our locking mechanisms for the doors, we have an 8-point locking mechanism. We use only stainless steel. Salt air is everywhere in the Bahamas, everywhere. So over time, you will see salt on everything. But what happens is our windows do not rust. Our mechanisms, if properly treated, we have a particular material that you put on it to minimize any rusting or anything like that. But with stainless steel, you don't have that problem.
Right.
Our frames never rust, never peel, never chip, never fade. All right? So you have a storm frame window that we manufactured today. 10 years from now, it should be the same. The only thing might have happened is it might have gotten dirty from the outside.
And you can just clean that.
Yes.
One final call for Henry Lightburn. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? Yes, we can hear you. Good morning. We heard her. Okay. This texter, I'm confused by this text. Oh, boy. What they're saying, basically, why would you need Category 4 or 5 windows when authorities often tell you to evacuate? Okay, that's strange. And especially, this is not going to save you in a flood. Texter, what's going on with you? That's a strange way to look at this.
Yeah, if you live on a coast, and you have a hurricane coming, they're going to push a wall of water from 1 foot to 20 feet. And if you're on the coast, you're going to get that because imagine a wall of water that's, let's say, 5 miles wide by 10 miles long being pushed by this powerful hurricane. Mm-hmm. What can you do? Yeah. All right? Windows and doors will not protect you there. If they say to evacuate, evacuate.
Yeah.
And that's just basically common sense.
Yeah. But you mentioned that some of the other benefits, sometimes we have minor storm events that present flying debris. Unfortunately, in Nassau, flying bullets, that's a reality, and a lot of this will protect you from that as well.
I don't know about the bullets because our windows are not bulletproof, but they are durable, and they will protect you from severe weather. Storm frame windows stands by that. In addition to that, getting windows and doors from abroad, where are you going to get the parts from? You know what the situation is with cars that come from all over the place. you have to search.
Yeah.
Whereas if we manufacture the window or door, or if we import, we make sure we have the appropriate supplies for you to use.
Okay. Did the caller come back? Yes. Caller, you're live.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
I have a question for Mr. Lightburn. Do you all carry hardware for your windows and doors, and do you all service those?
Well, that's another great question. One of the things we always pride ourselves, if you buy something from us, well, you're married to us.
Yeah.
Now, even with the warranty, when your warranty expires, you can still call us and say, well, look, my window is not functioning. Could you send a technician out? And we will dispatch a technician to you with the appropriate parts to make sure that your window is still functioning at 100%.
Okay. How long is the warranty?
Our warranty for our frames are 20 years. Our glass is 5 years. Okay?
All right.
And but most window and door warranties run from 10 to 15 years.
Okay. Good stuff. I remind folks where you're located. Give us the number again, and anything else we need to know before we.
All right. Storm Frame within the Airport Industrial Park. We are easily accessed. You can get us at 325-6633, 325-663-6633. Call Kirk, Genio, Don, Kenston, Gary, and myself, 325-6633. We will be able to service and provide you with good information on the styles and the types of windows that we sell. Storm Frame Windows. All right?
All right, wonderful stuff. Henry Lightburn, good seeing you again. Good having you on the show.
Okay, thank you very much, and have a good day, everyone.
All right. We are going to break for news and be back with more Morning Blend in just a bit here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Develop over warm tropical waters and form from a tropical depression to a tropical storm. I increase my strength to a hurricane, packing deadly winds and torrential rain. Hurricane a coming, you better batten down. Hurricane a coming, it's so big and strong. Hurricane a coming, you better not delay. You better find shelter, cause it's headed your way.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, June 18th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean in for Laverne Gardner on this Thursday. And a little bit later in the show, we're going to get into tourism and what the Minister of Tourism is saying about increasing stopover visitors, what we need to do to increase stopover visitors to the country. We'll get to that a little bit later. But right now, we are talking with Mavis Darling Hill from the Kingdor Parkinson's and the Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation. And the annual Parkinson's Ball is coming up very, very soon. And she's here to tell us all about it. Good morning. Good to see you as always.
Good morning, and it's a pleasure to be here as always.
All right, so we're going to get into the ball and get into how beneficial this is to you all. But we know you're kind of in mourning for someone very special to the Kingdor Parkinson's Foundation. We're talking about Peebo Bryson.
Yes, Peebo Bryson was very, very special to us at Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation. My nephew met him some years ago, and they became friends. And ever since then, each time he got the opportunity, which was like, I think about 3 times, he came to our balls, and he actually performed and did a fantastic job. He had everyone on the floor, and I think during that period, the ticket sales, the sales were right up the roof. Even though it was a short period, we knew for sure that he was coming.
Right.
It was always so wonderful, and people were just happy to see him.
Yeah.
Down to earth, a wonderful, wonderful person.
Yeah, very sad. We were all sad when we played, and you messaged us. We played his music all morning when we learned about it.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
And so Saturday, that's next week Saturday, the
June
27th, yes, we are going to celebrate him in grand.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, we've been in contact with Essence. They called me last night and, to give me feedback as to how they're going to go on and what we wanted to have happen. And so I told them we are celebrating people, and so we want all the music they play as much as they can. And so this is what they agreed for. So we're going to have a wonderful time on Saturday.
And that's the local Essence Band.
Yes.
They're going to be
yes.
the main attraction this year.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But of course, we have the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band, and they've always been fantastic to us. They've always been very, very accommodating. And so between those two bands, we are planning a wonderful occasion.
Yeah. Sounds like it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a blast.
So we'll get the details about it in a bit, but remind folks how important the ball is to the foundation.
Well, our ball, of course, this is the 26th.
Wow.
This is extremely important to us. We get people every day asking for certain things like caregivers, monies for that. It costs. And so we cannot do that if we don't get the public's assistance in making this happen. We can't do it alone. Our couple dollars cannot work it. Even so, persons who are willing to work, because we have other activities throughout the year. If they want to help with caregivers workshop, or we have speech competition. We did not do it for a couple of years because here again, it costs. We do not ask for a penny from anyone once we do that, but it costs.
Yeah.
The last time we had it at a hotel before. That was over $2,000 just to have the function there. We went to IMAX. That was over $2,000. That was like 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago.
For the speech competition.
Yes.
Wow.
And so we give we give cash prizes for the first prize, and the second we give computers, and we give telephones for first, second, third.
So when are you going to do that again?
November.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So this will help with that as well.
This will definitely help with that.
Right.
And then, of course, we do a lot of workshops for just general persons who want to know more about Parkinson's. We did something for social services just about almost 2 months ago. And that is really just telling them what not about the foundation as such, telling them about Parkinson's.
Right.
So when they see clients come in, they don't look at them funny, and they really respect and understand that their situation is this.
It's often misdiagnosed.
Yes, yes.
So that's
and
my
so
question, though.
The question?
Can you? That's my question. Like, can you tell us how Parkinson's impacts maybe some of the symptoms and what people live with on a day-to-day basis when they have Parkinson's?
Okay, so that's a wonderful question. And that would take forever. And I know Dwight knows that his Gordy loves to talk, so he doesn't want that too much.
But just give us the cliff notes. The cliff notes.
So the signs and symptoms are such that persons with Parkinson's, when the cells in the midstream of the brain when they die or become impaired, then Parkinson occurs. And so Parkinson's is really, the signs, symptoms would be, the first telltale sign is the tremors, okay? Or Bahamians say the shakies. And 85% of the time when they're diagnosed, that is what comes up. Yeah. And then, of course, bradykinesia, that's slowness of movement. So you see someone more or less stooped over and really ready to fall if they're not careful. So that is another concern. And then there's a postural instability where the person is having problems with their posture. They cannot stand straight. Wow. Handwriting, it seems if that is another very, very important situation here, whereas the handwriting is really cramped and it's difficult for people to figure it out. Mm-hmm. So when anyone has 2 or more of those symptoms, the physician or healthcare provider would say it's Parkinson's, okay? Wow. But there's such thing as Parkinsonism. Some people have just a trait. I know somebody, I don't want to call the name, had just the shaking, the tremors, and people just thought, oh, yes, that's Parkinson's. But Parkinson's has a lot of very important signs.
It can't be one of those.
No, it shouldn't be just one.
Yeah.
And then remember now, it's a progressive, debilitating condition. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't happen all the same time. It progresses. Mm-hmm. And no two persons might be diagnosed today, but that doesn't mean they all have the same. Mm-hmm. They might have something further up on the ladder and something, the other one might have something down. Or it might be a situation, that one might have tremor and a bradykinesia, but they don't have the stiffness and all that of the limbs.
Yeah. I think one of the last times you were on the show, you talked about it, but some folks see things, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing TV ads about that as well. So yes. Tell us a little bit about that part.
Okay. Concerning what part is that?
So people see things that aren't there.
You're talking hallucination. Okay. Now, that would come later on in the illness, mm-hmm. yeah. Most people, unless they go through the 4th stage of the illness, they won't go through that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So different stages.
Really be
and that's why we feel it's so important. Mm-hmm. We sent a letter to the Ministry of Health and Wellness encouraging them to partner with us so we can do a study. Because when people ask me questions as to the number of persons stricken with Parkinson's disease, I cannot answer that.
I was about to ask you that.
Yeah, I can't answer that because we don't know.
Yeah.
And so we want to have that study started, a questionnaire started in New Providence. And after that, we want to look at Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, Exuma, and Long Island. Mm-hmm. Okay?
How many are in your foundation, or how many people do you deal with? Can you give us those numbers?
What we deal with would be, we have about 12 persons who we are in contact with.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we encourage families too, because Dwight, let me tell you, families do not understand for the most part how important their role is in making sure that loved one is properly cared for. Right. I'm not saying they don't give them the care, but they don't realize that, for the most part, that they need to go out and do all the things that they did prior to the illness. Yeah. And they shouldn't be shut away. People feel, oh, you're old and you should be, be settled and be happy with it. Mm-hmm. But we say the opposite. We say quality of life is everything. And so quality means doing things that qualify for life. Yeah. And so go to the beach, go for a drive, go for a trip. Travel.
Yeah.
I know when it was my time with my dad, we put him on a plane. Anytime he said he wanted a vacation, we jumped on a plane and we did that.
Right.
And sometimes, especially on a Saturday, every Saturday, we just drove around and see what the island is all about. And from there. Yeah. So we're asking families to really pay attention to that. And not just one person. Everyone in the family should play a vital role in terms of that.
And it's not just an older person's disease, right?
Exactly.
There's some early onset.
Right. The onset is 60 years old, but trust me, there are persons who are 40, who are stricken with the disease. Wow. And that's why this study is going to be very interesting because we do not know. I know someone told me some time ago that their son, who was only 20 at that stage, that he had Parkinson's.
Whoa.
He was diagnosed abroad. We knew, and we got feedback some time ago about a young girl who was she was 7 at that time, and that must be about maybe 10 years ago now.
7?
Yeah. So that's and then there's juvenile Parkinsonism. So persons can be very young, stricken with that disease. Like I said, can you imagine going to work or going to school like that? So it must be very, very difficult for that child. And then people. That's why we feel it's so important for people to understand that it's a brain condition, but that doesn't mean the person is out for lunch.
Yeah.
They can still communicate. They can still function.
Yeah.
And so all we need is to ensure that the employer gives them a chance at work. And the staff understand, what they're going through.
Absolutely. We're talking with Mavis Darling-Hill with the Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation. We've got a call. Let's take this call before we get back to the ball. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, and a special good morning to you and your guest.
Hi.
My mother was stricken with Parkinson in 1984 to 1976. I want to say that it not only, the symptom that she gave, I want to add one more. There is also a lot of excessive salivation, dribbling. But in no way does it affect your mental faculty. And I think we have, I guess we have improved in terms of medication now, and we also need to support the Parkinson Foundation. Actually cared for my mother at least 2 years before she wanted to return to a more familiar environment.
Yes.
But it was a challenge. I had a helper in the day, and weekend was my time to give her a bath and all those things.
Okay.
So,
well, you did a fantastic job. And like you said, persons who go through the stage where they're drooling, that is later on in the illness. Like I said, there are several stages, and I wish I had the time to go through all that because it's very important for people to understand. And it seems if you understood a lot, though, because you were there assisting, and I'm sure that made her happy.
Yeah.
The quality of life, I keep saying.
Yeah, we got to work on that. We've had you on before with, you often have a neurologist with us because you need to have that perspective. And so we'll do that again.
Yes, please.
We'll do that again, definitely. All right, so let's talk about it. How do we get tickets? How much are tickets? What do people need to know about the ball?
Okay, so tickets can be gotten from Carey's Fabric and Uniform Center on Mackey Street. Tickets are $300 each, or a table for $3,000. We meant to keep it low because we know all the other organizations, they have gone up like $50 per ticket. Wow. But we want to encourage people to be there. We want to encourage Parkinsonians. Dr. Demerit said he's very, very sad, really, that he was not unable to be here. He's in Turks right now.
You mean today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he'll be there he'll be at the ball.
He'll be at the ball. Okay, wonderful.
And then Dr.
Where is it going to be?
Oh, okay, yes. And so the ball will be at Atlantis Paradise Island. We asking persons at 6:45. We will welcome people on the red carpet, encourage them to take pictures, and there are going to be several stations where they can take photos. And so during that hour, we are going to have a jazz singer, and that's going to be spectacular. We're really excited about that. And then once they get inside the ballroom, we're going to have just a fantastic decor. It's going to be off the clock. It's going to be very, very nice. And then, of course, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and Essence. But we're expecting a wonderful time. Now, we have someone by the name of Stephan Legend. He is a live artist who will be performing. He will be doing live painting that night, and we would encourage persons to purchase his paintings.
Okay, all right.
All the monies for that would go to Kingdor National Parkinson Foundation.
Wow.
And of course, I don't know, the Falcons Entertainment. They are going to do a rush out. So they're promising that it's going to, because I was asking how would it work and do we really need that? And persons who actually introduced the idea told me that it's going to be very exciting.
Okay.
So expecting people to just really, they're going to just run around the room and they'll go in the front afterwards and encourage people to just dance. But we're not going to give you all the goodies. We're looking at a 5-course wonderful meal. Yes. And so we're asking the public to be there to celebrate with us, to celebrate with the Parkinsonians. Last year we had, I think about 3 or 4 persons, Parkinsonians, who actually attended.
Wow.
Because for the most part, families feel that, they're not going to be able to cope. But those persons, wheelchair and all, they were there. So, yes.
Any special theme for this year, or?
Okay, the theme, I'm so glad you asked that. Parkinson's, lean on me.
Okay.
We feel that is very important for the Bahamian people to understand that these people cannot stand alone. So we're asking them to lean on us. I'm sorry.
Right. Wow. All right. So again, next week, Saturday, June 27th, tickets at Carrie's.
Yes.
$300.
Yes.
Time is going.
Time is gone.
So you've got to get your tickets now.
Yes.
And make sure that you are at Atlantis.
Yes.
For the Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation
Yeah,
ball.
tickets are going well, but we're asking persons to tables that we want to fill.
Yeah.
And that's the only way we can say, yes, we're doing a good job. Because remember, it costs, and even though we have entertainers there, it's going to be the same cost if you have 10, 100.
Hey, yeah.
And so the more persons, the better. So we're asking people to just take advantage of that. Business houses, we have, let me tell you, we've gotten good responses from J.S. Johnson. They've always been there for us, always. Stephanie Hanna and her crew. But we have gotten no support, actually, except for Ministry of Health, from the healthcare providers, companies, the doctors, hospital, and the others, nothing. Some insurance companies, and I know my dad, before he died, it was Doctors Hospital, So we are very, very concerned that places like that don't appreciate and understand this is a health situation, and it's not just for fun, it's just really, by us doing the ball really gives the public an idea as to what is happening.
Yeah.
Because if we just say, we're going to do classes, or do school or whatever, nothing happens. We usually do a walk-run competition, and we're hoping to do that again because we know how important it is for exercising. Exercising with any health is very important, but exercising with someone with a neurological problem, it's very, very
essential.
important. Yeah, it's essential.
All right, so hopefully we'll in the next few days fix that corporate Bahamas and make this a ball we'll never forget.
Yeah. But regardless of whether they come on board or not, we're gonna have a fantastic time. Yeah.
June 27th at Atlantis. Get your tickets now. The Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation Ball. Yes. Mavis Darling Hill, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
We've got some Peebo as we go to the break.
Okay.
We'll be back in just a few. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
All the loving you gave me, the feelings we shared, and I still can remember how you touched me so tender. It told me you cared. We had a once in a lifetime, but I just couldn't see it until it was gone. A second once in a lifetime, maybe too much to ask, but I swear from now on, if ever you're in my arms again, this time I'll love you much better. If ever you're in my arms again, this time I'll hold you forever. This time will never end.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Guess who's back?
It's that time again for the 31st annual Michael Scootery Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic.
Bring it on now, let's go.
Whether you're a player or a fan, you don't want to miss this one. The action starts July 13th at the Hope Center. Log on to peaceonthestreets.com and register. Come on, everybody, we're going! That's the Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, where we shoot hopes instead of guns. Game time.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Bahamas Shipyard's new dry dock has helped it to have a successful ship repair season. The shipyard, in a release to the media, saying it's completed repair and maintenance projects for 28 vessels while generating significant economic benefits for Grand Bahama and reinforcing the island's position as a leading maritime services hub. The cruise repair season, which typically runs from November through May, is a period when cruise lines schedule major repairs, refurbishments, and maintenance projects in preparation for the industry's peak operating months. While the season's numbers reflect strong operational performance, the shipyard saying that its greatest achievement was the dedication and commitment demonstrated by the workforce. So that teams across the organization worked through an exceptionally demanding schedule to meet customer requirements. More on that in today's Guardian Business section. The Bahamian Contractors Association is renewing calls for the government to appoint the long-awaited Construction Contractors Board after a 26-year-old man died after falling on his first day at a construction site. The association arguing that stronger industry oversight and safety standards are urgently needed. In a statement yesterday, the BCA expressed condolences to the family of the deceased worker and said the incident highlighted persistent concerns about safety practices within the construction sector. It said this incident serves as a sobering reminder of the critical importance of safety measures in the industry, particularly concerning work at heights. The association said it could not comment on the specifics, but suggested there appeared to be questions about whether adequate safety procedures were in place. In the statement, they said, quote, "We call on the government of the Bahamas to appoint the Construction Contractors Board, which will regulate the construction industry." The association noting that 5 people have died in construction-related incidents so far this year and questioned whether the latest tragedy could have been prevented. Bank of the Bahamas Managing Director Neil Strachan says the bank's new core banking system from technology company Oracle is experiencing technical challenges, and expert technicians are assisting the bank to rectify the issues. Strachan telling Guardian Business that they apologized to the disruption following the recent upgrade, but that the upgrade was intended to enhance security, reliability, and service delivery, but instead they've experienced major technical challenges impacting day-to-day operations. He says that Oracle's expert technicians are actively assisting to diagnose and resolve the issues. BOB recently experienced severe widespread system disruptions stemming from the online core system upgrade. The transition triggered unexpected technical issues. Overseas, the number of Americans applying for jobless aid fell modestly last week as layoffs remained in the same historically low range of recent years. U.S. applications for unemployment benefits in the week ending June 13th dropped by 4,000 to 226,000. That's according to the Labor Department. That's in line with the 225,000 new applications forecast by analysts surveyed by the data firm FactSet. Weekly filings for unemployment benefits are considered representative of U.S. layoffs and are close to a real-time indicator of the health of the job market. Meanwhile, the U.S. Federal Reserve keeping its key rate unchanged Wednesday, yet almost half the central bank's policymakers said they could support a rate hike later this year. The unexpectedly aggressive tilt towards higher rates would disappoint U.S. President Donald Trump and suggest heightened concerns about persistent inflation among Fed officials. In an unusually short statement after their two-day meeting, the officials dropped language that had suggested their next move would be to cut the key rate. The brief statement reflects the influence of the new chair, Kevin Warsh, who was appointed by Trump. Warsh had previously criticized the Fed for commenting too broadly on the economy. And Pizza Hut, the 68-year-old chain that has long struggled with growing competition and outdated restaurants, will be sold for $2.7 billion by parent company Yum Brands. Yum Brands saying this week that the private equity firm Long Range Capital will buy Pizza Hut and China business for about $1.5 billion. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market movers will know no trading on the share index, closing at 3,234.72, down 0.31. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Watch this. When reggae scriptures hit me, man, I feel it in my bones. So much love for the culture. Oh, I just can't leave it alone. Gonna take a trip to an old island. Gonna jump aboard Bahamas there. Grab my drum and I'll grab my saw. Oh, can't miss no festival this year. No! Some say it's magical, some say it's musical. Come get a belly full of Bahamian culture. Some get emotional, some take it personal. Get all hysterical from Bahamian culture. Yes! Go crazy for this thing, boy!
We are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio, 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. Duquesa, in the House of Assembly during the budget debate, Minister of Tourism Glennis Hannah Martin had some interesting things to say about the numbers that we are seeing for the country. I want you to take a listen to this. We've talked about this quite a lot on the show. And we've heard a lot of talk like this from ministers of tourism. But we're still where we are. And we've got to figure out, what are we stuck or what's really happening here? But take a listen to these comments in this report from our Vonique Toot. Got that report for you.
Despite welcoming millions of cruise passengers to Bahamian shores each year, newly appointed Minister of Tourism Glennis Hannah Martin says more must be done to boost stopover visitor arrivals and maximize the economic benefits of tourism.
Most of our tourism numbers are amassed in cruise arrival. Almost 11 million passengers in 2025. We are perhaps the most significant cruise nation in the world, with Nassau alone recording about 6.7 million cruise passengers in 2025, making it the world's busiest transit cruise port. On spending, the ministry's cruise expenditure survey put the average at $78.77 per cruise passenger in 2020, while the FCCA and BRIA figure for 2023 and 2024 was $120.93 per passenger visit.
Hannah Martin noted that cruise passengers spend an average of just $120 per passenger visit, a figure she said pales in comparison to the approximately $2,700 spent by the average stopover visitor.
In other words, 80% of visitors come via cruise and contribute approximately 20% to tourism spending. I do not think the case can be made any stronger than what these stark figures expose. This cruise industry also has unique features, including private islands, a port facility, Nassau Cruise Port, that is in many ways a resort unto itself. The outcomes we currently see take visitors further away from that interface with our people, and that's the product. Our people is the product. And they challenge the full economic potential of the industry.
She said the challenge for policymakers is to ensure cruise passengers engage more deeply with the broader Bahamian economy, increasing their spending and expanding the benefits of tourism across more sectors and communities. Hannah Martin revealed that the government will take steps to increase visitor spending, extend length of stay, encourage repeat visitation, and improve the share of tourism revenue retained within the Bahamas.
The impact of tourism must be felt more deeply, and we must read tourism as that vital encounter which enriches and uplifts not only the visitor, but our own people. We have perfected ourselves for ourselves, to the benefit of ourselves, and the energy of that encounter is reciprocal and valuable to others. We want to see economic activity over the hills as visitors see firsthand Bahamian communities at work and play. And so we must cultivate a stronger pride in the physical environment.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonik Toot.
Okay, interesting report there. Quest, I'd love to hear from you and everybody listening, right? I want to say, first of all, though, I believe everything the minister is saying is correct and right. But we've been saying this for years.
Right.
I feel like almost every minister of tourism comes in saying this. And many of our callers, I know who's going to call in this morning, they've been saying this for decades. We've been saying it. We have to offer a more unique, authentic experience. You don't get that downtown. And you can't blame the cruise ships for doing what they're trying to do. Since you're not offering it, then we got to do something for these folks. But what are we doing? Why would somebody who's visited the country before want to come back? Will anything be different in you? What are we doing? So when are we going to really act instead of just talking, saying this stuff? What is holding us back? What is the issue?
I don't know. That's a good question.
But we know people who have the ideas, who are stifled at every turn and are being made to jump through the most unbelievable hoops to provide this, to transform downtown, to even if it's not downtown, to do something, other islands as well. But it's hard. Certainly not been made easy by governments of the Bahamas. So we're just saying this stuff. Right. You're just saying this stuff.
Yeah.
But you continue to brag about the cruise ship numbers. But the stopover and the hotel room stays, they're telling a totally different story. Are you really serious? Let's get your reaction to it. Only have about 5 minutes. But 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. What are we going to do to fix the situation? Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning to you again, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Yeah, Dwight. Hey, the tourism script, right, for the minister is what we heard, right? It sounds very promising, right, because it's really just a script. Because I didn't hear nothing that would that is a plan, like what you were saying earlier, right? That what are we gonna do? What is the plan coming from tourism that the people can be able to engage in this, so or we can reduce the crime, so that what we can do, because at the end of the day, all of us on the ground have some understanding that, hey, the tourists aren't coming to stay like they used to, simply because if you came here 30 years ago when I think the water tower, no, it mightn't even been working 30 years ago, but if you came here 30 years ago when the water tower was working, and now you come back, and 30 years later, there's nothing new. The water tower isn't working. Tourism is just, in my view, only for our government allowed the cruise ship to just take over the tourism product.
And the mega resorts too. The mega resorts have all the hot restaurants
and the mega
all the
resorts, right? You are correct, because if we was probably encouraging more smaller hotels where you could encourage more cultural activities. In fact, it will give probably a different flair or better flair that people, travelers, really looking for. But it really ain't nothing new. But what this government, both of the education minister, who now is tourism minister, right? The tourism minister, who now is education minister. These two persons sat in the same cabinet, but one education to realize that we needed 300 teachers, and the other one had to go to tourism to touch the same old situation that the one was saying to us before. It's ludicrous. Organized.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was an interesting turn there. Wow. Let's squeeze in this call, and then we'll get to these messages that are coming in. Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
I knew you would call. Hi.
Well, I was trying to get through, man. Listen.
Same old, eh?
Same old, Dwight. Bunch of talk, no action. Two things. One, create an Entertainment, Cultural, and Heritage Act so that the private sector could be incentivized to invest in the entertainment industry. And number two, the government of the Bahamas need to get out of the entertainment business. They are not in the entertainment business. Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Agriculture who provide regattas. They need to give those budgets to professional people to produce entertainment in our country and incentivize private sector people to invest in the entertainment industry. We said this for the last 40 years. Nobody's listening. They're just talking to hear themselves talk. Thank you very much.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. We're going to have to go deeper into this, right? Definitely. But we got some cool messages here. Let's read these. This person says here, it would be nice to have daily native shows at the Botanical Gardens for cruise passengers. Well, not just the cruise passengers. I think everybody would like that. But what is happening with the Botanical Gardens? What's going on there? How long has it been closed? What are we doing? What are we doing with that? There was talk a few years ago, but anything happening there? This is an odd text here. This person says, here, let me pull this up. This is a tweet, actually. What do you think of this, Duquesa? Oh, boy. Legalize marijuana, we'll be swamped with tourists. What are you saying yes out there? Yes?
Are there that many tourists that travel just to get marijuana?
Do we want to find out? This person says, I expect good things to come from the new Minister of Tourism. Let's give her a chance. I hope one day she becomes Prime Minister. We would not have to worry about anything. Let's give her a chance. Don't forget, she's the daughter of Dion Adi Hanna, and she does not talk foolishness. Okay? Well, we are hoping and praying, keeping our fingers crossed.
She has a chance. You ain't got to give it to her. She has it.
This texter says here, it's a fallacy to say we focus too much on the cruise industry. Cruises take care of themselves for the most part. The question is, what is the allure for the stopover guests? What do we offer? Is there value? Those are the things that need to be fixed. Is there adventure? What are we selling? Except for the hotels that what are the hotels that are selling internationally? What do people put on social media that they do here? What do they put on social media that after going to Jamaica, Mexico, and Barbados? Yeah, no, those are great points there. What can you find here that you can't find anywhere else? This is what people, especially on the cruise ships, say. You don't need to come off the port because what you see here is what you see in every Caribbean port. And that's a hurtful thing to say, but they might be right. They might be right. What are we going to do about it? All right, so we're going to go deeper into that at some point, as we've done before, but we need to keep doing it. DeQuesta Dean, thank you so much for being here this morning. Appreciate you. We'll see you back on Tuesday. Tuesday next week, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend. Remember, we're going to be coming to you live from Bahamas Bus and Truck and the GWM dealership for a special day for Father's Day. Powerful deals for Dad. We'll tell you all about that tomorrow. And make sure you make your way out to Bahamas Bus and Truck tomorrow. So we'll see you from there. But everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green. Next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on Guardian Talk Radio and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.